Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Muse podcast. It is my pleasure again to welcome Joelle Rabbaa to the Lunar Cycle Insights that Joelle is really mediating every month with specific insights when it comes to the cycles of the moon and what that is bringing for us between the new moon and the full moon and in between those phases of the moon. Welcome back, Joelle. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Maya. Thank you for yet another musing meeting. Yeah, thank you so much for giving us the space to talk about this.
It is always something to touch base on with you, especially, with what you're seeing in terms of the astrological insights and how this is affecting individually and collectively what is going on in general, and also giving us some cautious measures, especially when it comes to this specific month. Probably, as we were preparing for this episode, you mentioned that this is one of the most important months of the year on all levels.
Yes, it's the busiest month astrologically. I mean, of course, there will be other things, but everything was building up for April to happen. And the thing with April, as we spoke about in the last episode, the thing with April is it comes with a charge because it's like the new astrological calendar. Energetically, it's spring. So spring brings sprouting. It's a cardinal energy. And cardinal signs are Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. And cardinal energy starts something, starts a season, starts a phase. And Aries, specifically because it's the first sign of the zodiac, as astrologers built this amazing system as the ancient built it. It's the start of a year. So in our hemisphere, it's spring. And in Australia, it's autumn. So it's completely opposite. But, we speak about what we are living. Yeah, I'm wondering how you're feeling, the beginning of April after our, equinox episode. How are
Yeah,
you
the full
feeling the
moon.
start of April?
Well, while embracing both hemispheres, the northern and the southern hemisphere, it's just like I think there's many layers to personally my northern and southern hemisphere. There's definitely a charge to this month. There's a sense of excitement. At the same time, there's a lot of exhaustion somehow that the body is kind of going through. Obviously, also because of the transition of seasons, coming out of winter, going into spring, it's a big shift on a so-called nature's level, and the body is going through more rest, I would say, mostly for me. But I feel that charge when it comes to something happening, um, something beautiful happening, and at the same time, while there's something beautiful happening, there's a lot of chaos that is also felt, fidgety, agitated space, and also
Yeah.
how to address what is important, what to prioritize. So for this episode, we're tackling the new moon in Aries. As you mentioned, it's the start.
Yes.
It's the new moon as well for April.
Yes. And Usually new moons, April new moon is everybody waits for, like people who like to manifest and, to start, feeling and imagining their year. They like the Aries new moon, especially fire signs, especially cardinals. The thing is, when the axis of eclipses are on this axis of Aries and Libra, like now, and if we go back 19 years ago, it was the same axis, North Node in Aries and South Node in Libra. So when the eclipse happens on such a charged new moon already, with so much expectations, there's so much chaos that, we already feel. The thing is, we have on top of it a Mercury retrograde in Aries. And one of the rarest phenomenon is to have like an asteroid so close to the nodes and to the new moon and what's happening. And it's Chiron. It's sitting right on the new moon degree that is 19 degrees Aries. And not to go into details about Chiron, the wounded healer, you can connect, you can Google it. The thing is, it's all about the healing journey and, the death by a wound and the woundedness and what can we do with it. So that's already a portal that is open. Having Mercury retrograde, Mercury that is the planet, that helps us communicate and talk and, and already make negotiations with others or allow other humans with their data and information and take it in and give back. This is on pause as well, because when Mercury is retrograde, it's like the feeling is like, let me pause and review. Let me pause and see if I can do it differently. And sometimes, let me pause and see some exes or some ex-colleagues or people from my past, because I need to review something in regards to this, or in regards to this situation. You don't need to see the people, of course. Sometimes they just pop in your mind. So I'm just mentioning this because I've been having, contacts from people about what's happening, like why am I feeling, so disturbed. And the mental headspace, Aries represent the head in the zodiac, if we project the zodiac on the body. So the headspace is already heavy with Mercury retrograde, and then we feel like a discombobulation, so if we're not grounded enough. So yeah, there is the fatigue. I give you the fatigue. But there is a little bit of the build-up towards the eclipse that is happening on that new moon in Aries. This is I feel like the most tense. This eclipse is ruled by Mars. Mars is still in Pisces and approaching Saturn. So I wanted to speak about, the energy of water and the energy of fire. The energy of the unconscious, the englobing, the taking in everything and everybody, and the energy of sprouting and doing, and the physicalness of Aries. And I feel like this is where we are energetically going back and forth, if it makes sense. How does it land for you?
Well, considering that it's a new moon, something feels, well, before this new moon, it felt like something is starting. It's like an underlying feeling. It's not a clear feeling. I would say, like, what by now I can say what I miss about new moons, because somehow new moons are shifting and full moons are shifting into more overlapping, rather than really a clear start, or at least what I'm seeing also with people, and with people I'm following up with, with integration, and also other stuff related to shamanic work. Um, what I also feel is that combination, as you said, of water and fire. It's like an opposition, because there's a kind of a duality. It's the duality of water and fire, that are two elements that we can really say that are opposing. It's like the east and the west. The east, be it the sunrise; the west, be it the sunset. And so it's that invigorating energy of fire, which can bring burning bridges with people from the past, and going through reviews of, no, this is not working anymore. And also embracing the death of something. Somehow it feels like a rebirth in chaos, and usually birthing happens in chaos, right?
Yes, we talked about this, right? We talked about how chaotic the energy field is, and how birthing, like, we feel like a new, like, between the full moon that was an eclipse and this new moon that is an eclipse, it feels like we're ready to birth, but like we're not sure, right? Because it's so chaotic. It's not like the normal stages of birthing that is already chaotic. I want to give, the connection is a bit unstable.
Yeah, it's fine. Hello,
now?
Mercury. Namaste, Mercury. We always send our salutations and our prayers to the planet. So here goes Mercury, and embracing, that recording. So praying for Mercury to support us while we're going through this. I can see you again. Thank you.
Okay. So from Pisces to Aries, I have, like, I've put some words to just help us, like, word, because now the communication through Mercury feels a bit like, weird for a Mercury in Aries that is usually so sharp. And so I thought of, if we think of Pisces is the unconscious, and going towards Aries, we bring it to the consciousness. So it's like this birthing that is coming from the unconscious to the conscious, and then from the emotional to the physical, because Aries is ruled by Mars. It's like, physically, I want it to happen, right? And then from the embracing, because it's a Jupiterian sign, at least in old astrology, from embracing, from Pisces, we go into differentiating with Aries, because it's more individualistic. It wants to be like, it wants to go its way. It doesn't want to stand still and wait. So already a North Node eclipse in Aries feels like you want to explode and go forth, because North Node represent more like the Dharma, okay? But then you have the ruler of this lunation, which is Mars, approaching Saturn, and two strong boundaried planets like Mars and Saturn. When they approach each other, when they're together, it's like danger, watch out, cautiousness. It's like I wanna hit the gas pedal, and then I wanna hit the brake pedal, and it can drive us into sit still until, you know, we are sure that there's no danger of moving, or it can, on the negative side of it, it can be like, you know, the severing and cutting of Mars doubled by the no and boundaries of Saturn. So the birthing process is taking time. The birthing process of everything in us and around us is taking its time. Historically and mundanely, eclipses are strong, powerful times of the year where we need to look, to be more measured, more present as much as possible in order to just allow allow the attention to bring its messages to us. And 15 years ago, 19 years ago, and on 8th of April 2005, we had a big eclipse like that. It's rare that eclipses come at it's not very rare, but it's like to have it at the same degree in Aries. It's strong and powerful. So what's adding up to this is that we're building up for a conjunction with Mars and Saturn, who are responsible for this eclipse on 10th or 11th of April. And then after that, we have a Mercury Kazim the sun, which is when the a planet approaches the sun and bathes in its fire, and Aries is exalted the sun is exalted in Aries. So Mercury is gonna have the chance to understand what was all this chaos about around the 11th or 12th of April, depending where you are in the world, because it will approach the sun. Now, there is a bit of a saying that, you know, eclipses and fire signs are not good for political leaders, for leaders in the world, eminence, and it's either like we said, it's either a strong beginning, a great beginning, or a great ending. So that is what's happening in the minutia of the energies right now.
In the minutia and in a very, very kind of a macrusha way, if there's no word that is in the dictionary, that I just created that word, being mercurial. When you say, you know, the sun is exalted, you know, in Aries, and when you talk about Mercury becoming more of like there's more clarity coming through, it does when it comes at least to Mercury. How can we explain this in terms of communication? Does that mean that we can get to a clearer way of communicating with ourselves and each other? Is there clarity when it comes to that realm of at least being able to understand more oneself and each other? Is it what this might mean?
Okay, so Mercury is an amazing planet because it's so versatile, okay? And that's why it's responsible for our communication. Now, the Aries part of our chart is the most charged. So I heard the amazing astrologer Jessica Laniado talking on CNN about, you know, what's the importance of this eclipse for Aries? And she was like, all 12 signs are, you know, experiencing the eclipse, right? But if you have a prominent Aries in your chart, and if you have the degrees around, between 18 and 21 Aries where the eclipse is happening, of course you're going to feel it more. But if you have Cancer and Capricorn and Libra prominent as well, you're going to feel it. And if in your case, for example, you have Mercury in a cardinal sign that is ruling a lot of planets in your chart, you are going to feel it. Now, when Mercury approaches the sun, it's going to take a hint about what was this chaos in this Aries part of our life, where we usually are bold and we're daring and we're trying new things. The thing is, this Aries season, that feels like we're sitting it out. We're not feeling as bold as usually Aries feels. And that is for a reason. That is really for a reason. I feel like a client told me life is intelligent in that way. Life brings some, horrible sometimes instances, so we can look, we can see. So the blindness of the eclipses didn't help us to see what we were trying to see, what's happening, and that's why you feel like the birthing is happening in chaos. So around 11th and 10th of and 11th of April, the retrograde is not done, but we have like a sort of an idea, an insight. What can this be? And where can I go forward? I honestly don't think that we can count on any Mercury activity or any Mercury relief before really the beginning of May, end of April anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Thank you, Mercury. Again, namaste. When it comes to eclipses, just to highlight here, knowing that also from a shamanic perspective, the impact of eclipses is not like, it's like it reaches peaks in specific days and times, but the effect is up to 6 months. And, if we go back 6 months, looking at also again, yet October 2023 coming into this eclipse. And so a reflection here or invitation. There's always, when we go through these lunar insights with you, Joelle, it's quite ceremonial. It's like we don't know. We can know as we're talking, as we're exploring. Yes, there are notes, but also at the same time, how do you relate to what is being shared is really what matters. You, the listeners, and the viewers. And if there's anything that I've been hearing from people is like, again, for not only now but for quite a while, what is going on? It's like, what is going on is always a question that I keep hearing from people, especially the ones who are tapping more into their own let's say healing journey. And also it feels to me like there are people that have done enough trauma work, and there's a breakthrough into more exploring life.
Yes.
As a from a different background, not to deny trauma, but to really acknowledge how much work has been done individually, and all, because it is a collective thing what is happening, but individually I think some people are able to really see where they are at and say, hey, I am ready to explore life differently while acknowledging what is going on.
I'm so happy that you mentioned this, because this eclipse is building, actually it's holding the energy of the famous Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that everybody is talking about on the socials, on the internet. This phenomenon happens every 14 years. And the thing is about this cycle, because Jupiter goes from a sign to another almost a year in one, and spends almost a year, and because of the retrograde motions, it takes 14 years for them to conjunct and to be next to each other. These cycles are cycles of big changes and big insights on improvement and more, actually, it's the seeding of expansion. This is how expansion starts. And what you're talking about is actually the real feel of the people that feel like, you know what, I'm done. I like, there must be something new. There must be something, outlets and channels for us to, but for the moment, we can't see from where. So the cool thing about this phenomenon that is happening as well in April and right before the full moon, it's happening on the 21st of April. It's a big deal because it takes, this conjunction takes from 100 to 112 years almost for it to go back to the same sign it conjuncted with. And and so this it was in 19, not 112 years. What am I talking about? It's the last time the conjunction happened in Taurus, actually, was in 1941. And in 1941, we had this, you know, of course, there was a war and we were in the middle of it. But then, you know, new opportunities started to help us wrap up everything. And we started a new cycle. So hopefully, I'm hoping, and I think I'm a bit naive, but I'm hoping that this is a new cycle for us to see that, you know, in Taurus, that is so, that's a sign that wants the beauty and the stability and the abundance. This chaos and this technology and this, you know, war in order to just take resources, it's not working. I really hope from the bottom of my heart that this would be like a change. But anyway, this is exactly the expansion you're talking about, the perspective, the new insight. On a personal level, we definitely, after this eclipse and Mercury are going to usher us into the 21st of April big conjunction. That's for sure. The last time this conjunction happened was in Aries, so where this eclipse is happening now, and it was in 2000, from 2010 to 2011. Yeah,
12 years instead of 112, just another digit difference.
No, 12 years in another sign, but it takes I think 84 years to go do the, like, we're resetting the cycle in Taurus. Okay, they conjunct in Taurus and then they conjunct 14 years later in another sign and another sign. So this is huge as well, and it's been building up since the beginning of the year. People are feeling it.
Yeah,
you are feeling it. Everybody's feeling it. So
yeah,
yes, chaos,
wow,
breakthroughs, insights.
Yes, yeah. There's like a simultaneous kind of happening on many levels. It's like you know, some people, when I talk with them, it's like they already feel the multiplicity of timelines even, you know, it's like there are different realities being felt at the same time. And where can we meet? Where can we meet
Agree.
again?
Agree.
How can we
And the
touch?
portals.
Yeah. The portals that you're
And
talking about that are related to
energetically.
the wounding. Yes. There's a bit of gap, you know, lapse in time, or gap in time. But yeah, again, you know, that it is through the wound. It is through the wound that breakthroughs happen, and whatever that means for you, you know, your own Chiron, the placement of the Chiron itself in your chart. Where is this new moon in Aries, you know, impacting your own chart? You want to know more about your chart, get in touch with Joelle. You know, she's really amazing. I mean, she's one of the people that truly inspire me when it comes to her passion in astrology, and also how she's picking up
Thank
and
you.
really going
Thank you.
for that deep dive as an Aries. And by the way, happy birthday to you. You know, this month is your birthday month as well. So yeah, just, you know, inviting in a kind of a new birth for you, and may this year bring you abundance and joy, and a space of creation and manifestation, as we wish this for everybody, really.
To
So
all of
that,
us, yeah. To all of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that, you know, when we meet in ceremony again, you know, when I receive messages from people, when are you gonna offer group ceremonies again? It's, yeah, I missed that. At the same time, there had to be some time for integration. There had to be some time for allowing whatever work we have done together, you know, between different parts of the world, to kind of take roots, and also to go through individual um, uh, processing and digesting. And so for this new moon in Aries, you know, there's a deep breath being called on. There's like
and maybe some foot bath. To tell you the truth, Pisces rule the feet. And honestly, this has been helping me. I really hope it helps someone. Any kind of salt in your water and just put your feet in it, because Mars in ruling this eclipse next to Saturn, that has been since Mars 2023 in since March 2023 in Pisces. It's a lot on Pisces, it's a lot on Aries. And to combine both, we need something to ground the head, the mental space, right? So draw it to the feet. Why not? You know, salt, foot bath, a magnesium salt, anything that really, and walking, of course, walking on the beach, of course, this is like the most grounding. But if you don't have access to this, any kind of, you know, just dip your feet in water. I did that before the episode. It really helps grounding me right now. And be gentle on yourself. Really, like we need so much gentleness, and let it crumble. Allow it to crumble. If it's crumbling, just let it be. There's no other way.
Maybe have a cappuccino while it's crumbling. It's just, you know, if there's any, well, there's always something that comes through every episode. And, you know, if there's one message that is coming through clearly, is fighting is useless. Fighting oneself. Everything related to war and abuse and everything happening around us is happening inside. And when we deny that, we're denying the inner world completely. And so inviting in a sense of embracing the questioning, the doubts, the things that we go through, and maybe opening a space to communicate on a level that is more mature.
That's what you said now. Is typically, like, for me, it's super astrological. Mercury is retrograde, and Mercury is in the sign of Mars, the Lord of Fight, the archetype of fighting and war, and you are doubting fighting and war. And I feel like this is like such a beautiful expression of, balanced astrological insights. Like you just said it. We need to reflect. Like, nature gives us these moments of reflection. Let's use them. Let's just, let's be the, better each day, and just forgive ourselves when we can do better, and then the next day do better. I think there's, yeah. Thank you, Maya. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joelle, for your insights, for really maintaining this. It's quite. There's so much gratitude to how you show up, and you keep showing up with everything that you're seeing astrologically, everything that you feel, because I know how sensitive you are, and still you show up, and I thank you for that. And through you,
you too. You have a podcast that shows how much you show up.
Just finishing a retreat and just recording this, and just beautiful, stepping out of ceremony, tapping back into life and seeing things from a new perspective, and feeling at the same time gratitude to every single day for being alive. And when we exit, we exit. Wishing you all again a blessed new moon in Aries, with a solar eclipse hitting
Relax.
mostly the northern of the Americas. So be safe wherever you are, and take care of yourself, and know that there's the earth and the skies, and we're only here just mediating what's above and what's below, and exploring what's within and what's without, what's around us. And thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, Joelle. I wish you a beautiful day. Better communication as we're ending. It was a bit agitated, and now it's kind of smoothing down. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.
Many blessings. Bye.